when you want students to each receive their own copy of a Google Drive file so that they can edit that file, that's going to be added inside of Schoology as a Google Drive assignment. So we're looking here at the student view. Here I've created a Google Drive assignment entitled Eyes of the Dragon Writing Activity. When the student clicks on it, they see two tabs, one of which is going to be any description that you've provided along with the assignment itself. I did not put any sort of a description in here. But then when they click on the My Document tab, this is where they will see their document. If they've not signed in and ever integrated Google Drive with Schoology, or perhaps they've had to clear their cookies, cache, site settings, things along those lines, they will have to go ahead and sign in with their Google account and allow it. Okay. Now, when I refresh that page, you should now see the student's Google Drive file. I had to refresh actually twice before it showed up. But now the student can see the file here. They can edit this document. You can see that it is fully editable. They can start typing into the document, okay? But if this is too small for them and they can't work within this space, or they can click here and it will open up in another tab, just so that it would be more in the size that they're used to. But for much of what they do, this is big enough for them to work. And then when they're done, they would use the Submit Assignment option. I'm going to jump over to the teacher side so that you can see how we added this. And actually, before we show you how to add, I think what I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on that from the teacher side so that you can see kind of how it looks like for you as well. So this is just a link to the file. This shows you who all has it in progress, okay? If you have students, like I have my West Bison account in here as well, that student has not opened up the assignment, and you can see it tells me that. But whereas if I pick a student who has been working in the file, I can see what they're doing. I can open it up in a new tab, etc. Okay? If anything has been submitted and ready for me to grade, it will be visible here. If you have linked multiple sections of the same class, then this drop down would also allow you to toggle between which class that you have assigned it to as well. So you can see though that it also gives me the option of which ones need graded, etc. late on time. All right. So jumping back to how did I get this in here, because that's what you guys are going to want to know. Again, on any horizontal line, if I click on that to add something, it's going to put it right in the spot where I click. This time, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add an assignment. Okay, this has a due date to it. This probably will have points assigned to it. You know, things along. It's a real assignment that I need them to complete. So when I create the assignment, I'm just going to title this one News So That It Stands Out, and I'm just going to abbreviate that this is a writing assignment. I'm not going to put the entire title like I did last time. I could put directions up here for the assignment, description of the assignment, anything along those lines. I can insert hyperlinks. I can insert, maybe if there's something I just need them to view first or related to it, I could of course insert a YouTube video for them to watch, again related to the assignment. Maybe you have a rubric that you want them just to view. Again, we use the insert content option up top just to insert things from Google Drive that you need them to view. So maybe you just want them to be able to have access to and to see the rubric ahead of time. So you could use that option, but that is not where you would attach something that you need them to have their own editable copy of. Okay, so if you need them to edit the file, for instance, I had a Google slide that I wanted them to edit, this is where we come down to the Assign As option, and I'm going to assign as a Google Drive assignment. And when I click that, again, it's going to have me search through my Google Drive. I'm just going to search real quick here to see if it will find what I'm looking for. You will see that once students actually start the assignment, then it will show up in there as, because it's searching your shared drives as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the one that I want, and I'm going to attach it. I could view. There was an option to view on the far right hand side. So see, now it's attached to this assignment, and it tells me here that every student is going to get their own copy. Okay, and that's what we want. We don't want them to just view it, we want them to have their own copy. I can go ahead and put in due dates, I can go ahead and put in points. The category is required. Again, anything with the asterisk is required. I could, maybe I don't want the students to see it yet. I don't have to have it published immediately. So this is the option right now. If I leave this green, it is going to be published and visible to my students right away. Okay. This option here, this copy to courses, I want to just be very clear with the Google Drive assignments. If you use the option to copy this assignment to another course, you only have to copy something to another course if those courses are not linked together. We linked courses together during the in-service day when we first were introduced to Schoology. So if you have two of the same sections, you have two ELA courses or two math classes that are the exact same and you always keep them, kind of on the same pace, you would have already linked them together. But maybe there's an assignment that you want to do with two classes that aren't linked together. If I use this option to copy to courses, it would let me scroll through and it would allow me to assign it to another class as well. And I could decide, the folder that I wanted in and the category and things for that class. I can just pick as many of them as I want. The biggest thing to understand with that is that unfortunately, it will recreate the assignment, meaning the name, the description, the due date, the category, but it does not actually attach the Google Drive file that you want them to have a copy of. So if you use that option, you would have to then go to that other course, the other section. You would have to edit the assignment and attach the Google document. Okay, so, and it does work, but this is best. I just wanted to make sure that that everybody's aware that that is kind of a little caveat with this one. All right, so it works really well with linked classes, but when the classes are not linked, there is that extra step. All right, I am not going to copy it though to another class. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit create. And we're going to now see the one that is titled new. Okay. And if I jump back over to my student and I go back into my Wednesday folder just so that you can see it now is visible to the student when they pick that one. And again, I did not put a description. It's the same file, but they will have access to that. Let's refresh. We seem to be having trouble populating the documents today. There we go. So that would be how you would assign Google Drive files that you want students to have their own copy of.